Hello, sharks. My name is Ariel Barbut. I am originally from Argentina, and my company is Nuchas. 9 years ago,
I love me some Latin food. How about you, Mikey?
Definitely. It's really good stuff.
to New York City with my wife Lenny, $9,000, this cricket on my shoulder, and a dream to transform a state.
Is that you said a cricket? Is that what
looks like
word
a cricket.
Is that like a Spanish word for ladybug?
Looks like a ladybug to me. Yeah.
Yeah.
Of my Argentinian culture, the iconic empanada, into a gourmet meal, so delicious, so convenient. The concept of handheld foods is universal. We bring amazing recipes from all over the world, use some of the best ingredients out there, and bake them inside delicious, edible pockets. No plates, no forks, no fuss. From our slow braised short rib to our shrimp jambalaya or our vegan shiitake curry. Nuchas is on a mission to bring the world together through unique flavors that remind us how delicious our differences can be. Sharks, you can join the Nuchas family today with an investment of $2 million for 8%.
Oh man,
What?
That is a lot of empanadas. I love empanadas. By the way, we have a place around here. So it was $2 million for was it 8%?
8%. Yeah.
Wow. Okay, so he definitely first off, ding ding for having the confidence to walk in and ask for that level of valuation.
That level, I don't think level applies here, brother. That's a whole other world. Wow, that's easily over 20 million in evaluation, brother. Man.
Yeah, it is over a 20 million valuation. Let's see what he's got to back that up.
All right.
This goodness. What the? It is Nuchas time.
They better be Nuchas, muchas, muchas.
$2 million for 8%.
Wow, caramba.
I don't want to eat it. It's expensive.
I don't.
At that valuation, you should have forks.
Oh my God.
Thank you. They're all different flavors.
Okay.
That's very good.
I mean, it
Very
looks
good. Yeah, it did look good.
$2 million for 8%. Tell us about your sales.
So this year we're doing $5 million
I mean, it's sales?
in sales. So
Okay.
our business consists of two parts. We have our retail part. We're the first brand ever to open a kiosk in the middle of Times Square. So that's how we
That's
started.
amazing. So how much did you do there?
We do $800,000. It depends.
I walk by it often.
Yeah,
And I never stop by because it's so crowded. The line is so long.
great. So that's a good thing.
What a great testimony.
that's a good.
Okay.
I mean, that's a good and bad problem to have. That sounds like he needs a second station.
Yeah,
or something.
yeah, no kidding. This guy should be franchising by now.
Yeah. Well, that's I. You know what? With a valuation like that, I would not be surprised if that's the play here.
I still, even with 5 million in sales, I'm not entirely sure if I'm there on that valuation. But who knows? Maybe he's got gold pants under there or something. We'll see.
Currently, we have 3 locations, and we actually have a map.
Okay.
All of them are in iconic locations.
So is this business solely that?
No. So out of the $5 million in sales, $2 million are from retail, and $3 million are wholesales to third parties.
If I were to walk up and buy one, what does one cost me?
So this will cost you $4. The short rib will be $5.
And your wholesale?
On the wholesale side of the business, which is really the one that is growing like crazy, we're doing 44%. It cost us 84 cents to make it all in, and we sell it at $1.52.
What are you going to make for tax?
Okay.
We're gonna make $750,000 profit this year.
Wow.
Ding.
Okay.
That is powerful, right? And
That is.
And so now it won't take them an eternity to get their money back.
Right.
I smell a royalty deal coming out of.
Yeah. I mean, that's
Mr.
the kind of thing that's gonna kind of work out of this that I would see. Obviously, you're in sort of an itemized skew essentially in food, so royalty would be what makes sense here. I don't think anybody's gonna buy down that 8%, but we'll see.
Now, with that said, the 84 cents does kind of concern me because if they're selling at wholesale for $1.52, that does create a bit of a problem because they're not making 100% their markup on that.
But you consider the category here. Food is going to be slightly different. There's a lot of things they have to consider in, and it's a very competitive market. Empanadas are obviously something that is not new. It's not proprietary. So I think they're right about what makes sense in their particular space.
Yeah, and maybe they could get their costs down.
Do you think next year?
Possible.
Next year, we're going to do around $12 million in sales, and we're going to do around $3 million in profit.
So, Ariel, you strike me like you're doing very well. Why would you need a shark?
And now it's fulfillment. We
Good
bought
question.
an 8,000 square feet facility 3 years ago. We set up the facility initially just to make raw products, but currently we're capacity constrained.
You need the $2 million to build production capacity.
We own the kitchen
What-
already. So we need to improve the kitchen.
But when successful restaurateurs pass 2-3 million in revenue a year, they go to the co-packer market for capacity that you rent. Why would you burn $2 million into capital
Because
expenditures?
it never works out. I've seen so many of my entrepreneurs do it.
So many.
Unless you control your own kitchen, you never control your business. It
if I
never works out.
can
Okay, so let me say this though. There's plenty of examples though that it has worked out. But I think that it's the idea is you're trying to control the costs, and by giving up a little bit on the cost end, at least down the road, right? Because you're trying to scale to a level where you could get your cost down on your terms with your own kitchen and own all that stuff. Plus, that adds to your assets, right? And your ability to be bought after the fact.
Well, see, and I understand where Kevin's point is, at least to the degree of, are you really at that point at scale at this point where you can begin to be more established essentially by owning your own space and it not being such a liability to you? My other key interest to this is, or at least it's just my general question, if all you're looking for is $2 million for real estate improvement or renovations, whatever they're going to do with that, at this point, you're probably going to get a better turn from your bank than bringing in an additional investor, possibly at even a better interest rate, than actually giving up equity. It's just a question, but
he probably wants the experience that comes along with it because of the fact that he doesn't know what he doesn't know, right?
He's doing pretty good.
No, he is. He is, but he's heading into a territory that he doesn't know, right? And it might be cheaper. It definitely is cheaper for him to get somebody in his corner, get that capital up front, and have their knowledge to not make the mistake, because the mistake that he could make could literally wipe him out. If he makes 1 to 2 mistakes in back to back in that journey. That he's headed towards, that could wipe him take him down to almost nothing.
Well, I smell that there's going to be some interesting haggling and negotiating about that 8%. But
well, yeah, I think ultimately they're going to try to knock the valuation down quite a bit there, probably closer to maybe 1.5 million for like 10%.
Talk a little bit about myself. I'm a manufacturing engineer.
So you think no one else can make these the way you make them?
No. I mean, you will find empanadas everywhere. I think almost everybody that comes from Latin America has thought of starting their own
Yes, that's true.
empanada
I know
business.
2 people.
Everyone. It's easy to start a business. It's really hard to make one successful.
Well said.
Ariel, how do I get my money back?
So we're growing really fast. The opportunity is endless. The wholesale part, we're doing amazingly well. We sell at gourmet stores like Whole Foods, Gourmet Garage.
So you're not under the Nuchas name in those stores. You are under, that store is just putting them out.
We private label for some of the stores. So the idea with this investment is we'll bring up our manufacturing capacity from the current level of 100,000 units to 300,000 units a week.
Where are you going to sell the additional 200,000
We've
units?
already have the conversations that we've been negotiating with some airlines.
How can the airline deal have the same margins as the retail
No
business?
way.
It can't.
No. So, but
Ariel, that is just such an expensive bet. You're talking to airlines, so you can sell 200,000 more units. I would not approach it that way at all. You're asking for $2 million, and that effectively is, we're all in on scaling your wholesale business. That's just not a ride I'm willing to make. So for those reasons, I'm out. But
Yeah, I mean, this is an expensive bet in general on some empanadas, right? It's not like, hey, I'm coming in, I got, we're just getting, hands off the ground. We were able to get this lightning in a bottle, which is the Times Square location.
Sure.
And all of a sudden we just were able to just go gangbusters, and I'm looking for $100,000 so I can go get my second cart at the next location or something like that. So like when you're talking about $2 million, like it doesn't matter if you're a billionaire, that's a lot of money to put up in a bet.
It's one of those things where, in this case, again, you as the investors, you always have to look at this. Is what you're doing proprietary? I don't see him protecting empanadas at all. And so from that standpoint, you've had a lot of luck with your location and your sales and all that. And obviously, based on the judges' reactions, they were good. They tasted good. So now we're making a $2 million bet on your brand itself and your brand in the mind of your customers. Obviously, they got a lot of repeat customers. They wouldn't be where they are. But again, it's the kind of business that I'm not entirely sure is going to be so sustainable for this ask to me. But again, I'm not in the food industry per se. This is just general business. If I'm sitting there in the tank, I'm not sure I'm jumping in on this myself. Not at that current price anyway.
Yeah.
Congratulations on what
I
you've
really
accomplished.
appreciate it.
I
How
agree.
many trucks do you own?
I only have one truck.
Oh, you have one truck.
One truck.
Oh, I'm
The other
calling them
three are
trucks. I'm sorry.
kiosks. The
Wait, I
retail
thought he
part
had
is the
three.
difficult part. It's not growing exponentially. I do believe 100% with the core of my soul that this is a category that somebody's going to own.
So what he said though was he had their kiosks, not trucks. So he
Okay,
has one
okay.
truck.
Okay.
Which I'm sure that they would have liked to see a lot more. I'm trying to remember what Barbara did with the Cousins Lobster, like what their deal was. But I mean, they've obviously done a really good job.
Yeah,
with
they've
that.
done really well. Yeah. See, my other question is whether or not, again, look at this particular deal. He's got one truck, 3 kiosks, essentially. Yes, he's got a great location and obviously a really decent product, but he's talking about going into airlines, which, again, as Mark pointed out, that's going to cut drastically into your profit margins. We all know we're paying $7 for a bottle of water at the airport, so it's very similar to going retail. You're skimming yourself. I'm curious why this guy isn't taking this brand as a franchise. I think that would be more successful. I would be more willing to invest $2 million if he said, hey, we're just trying to get the brand expanded, and pass along our secret recipe or whatever it is, so that you can kind of have this presence in other locations like LA or South Florida or whatever, a bunch of other places where you might be successful. It just seems like the strategy also might not be sustainable either. But,
Yeah.
that's my thought.
Yeah, I think there's a lot to be said here for the branding job that they've done. Unfortunately, we're stuck on Mark's face, not their branding. But when they come back around, take a look. It looks really solid. Like they've put some thought behind it, or worked with some business or something to get that. Solidified.
Great marketing company. Yeah.
How much are you losing on the kiosks?
No, we're not losing. We're breaking
What's your
even.
profit?
We're breaking even.
Right, but if you want to really compete and have some longevity for maybe an acquisition or something else, you're going to need to brand it and start doing consumer packaged goods. That means that your margin is going to be less because now you got to do advertising, marketing, and other things to support the brand.
But the way we're going to make more margins is wholesale. With this $2 million, our margins go from 44 to 55.
Your margins are going to go down in the wholesale business, not up.
Yeah.
That's what's going to happen.
Wow.
And I'm funding the
Oh,
lower
you see that? You see that? Mark and
happen.
Wow.
Mark and Barbara are
Right.
talking it over.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, exactly.
And I'm funding the lower margin business. I don't like that.
Well, while he's thinking about that,
I'm predicting.
I will share with you.
I'm predicting, and I haven't actually seen this particular pitch, so I have
me neither.
no way of saying. But I'm predicting that Mark and Barbara are going to come in together. They're going to want 7.5 apiece for what they have to bring in. But I guarantee you that their play is going to be toward pushing him in a franchise direction, or for trying to expand the core of what they're doing without doing this real estate deal on a kitchen. I really think they're going to try to push him in a separate direction, but that's my prediction.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if that was was the goal here.
They'll do a mill a piece.
And for a really big ask, $2 million for the 8% is very, very rich for my blood. So, soy fuera, which means I'm out.
That stinks.
Like he doesn't know his own language.
I see your lines, they're crazy. But your numbers are crazy also. I need to know that I can get my money back in 4 years.
Right.
For my $2 million investment, I would have to ask for 25%.
Whew.
Okay, so before we go any further, now that the floor has been set at $2 million for 25%, Mikey, tell the super entrepreneurs who you are, what you do, and how they can reach you.
Well, first of all, my name is Micah Thomas, and of course known as Mikey, Mike, and Micaiah, a couple of other things. I have a background in marketing and branding. So as this guy's very interesting, as you were talking about his branding. So that's all I've actually done for businesses for the past 20 years has been graphics, websites, all of that kind of thing, building them up to a certain level, mostly small to medium business and a couple of enterprise and political campaigns. Recently, though, I have been involved in content creation in the audio drama space specifically and taking advantage of sort of the podcasting boom. And now I'm the CEO of a company called Storymore, which is essentially Netflix for audio dramas. So you have a couple of other ways to be entertained. You can always reach me on Instagram, Twitter, at Micah IT CEO, or you can find me on LinkedIn as well. That's Micah, M-I-C-A-H, last name Thomas, and proud Wholesale alumni as well. So I'm out there on social media.
Ding, ding. And if you want to work on growing your business's profit, reach out to me over at superjoepardo.com. You go over there, you can grab my free Profit Rocket guide over at superjoepardo.com. If you have something to say to me, drop it in the chat, or in the comments. I'm down there all the time, almost 24/7 a day, 24/7 a day. And we're at Super Joe Pardo on all social media. Now let's see if he reacts favorably to this it's severe cutting of his percentage.
Yeah.
Or of his valuation.
Gracias.
No gracias means yes. Does that mean yes, we have a deal?
I actually have to check.
You talking to cricket?
Yes.
Really?
Cricket?
Okay, don't talk to the cricket too long with me here,
No,
because
so cricket says thank you. It is too much for where we're right now.
But you do know that I'm investing in you thinking the whole brand's going to work. Those wholesalers can say, why are we paying so much here? Let's just start making our own. You don't have a brand in there. It is just a delicious product in all those retailers.
See, that's what I was saying earlier. That's the question about it's not proprietary. There's nothing that makes your empanadas special except for the moment. They taste good. You got really good location and you got great branding. Well, 2 out of 3 of those things, I could start a brand tomorrow and accomplish by making really good empanadas and coming up with good branding. That's not enough to make a bet, on the poker table of business.
Yeah, I mean, again, $2 million is a huge bet, and the idea that he could get his money back in 4 years, it might not line up with the trajectory of this guy. I forget what his name was, so I apologize, but
Yeah.
His trajectory. I mean, he's predicting 12 million in sales next year, and the year after this was filmed. But at that point, he had 5 million that year. So I mean, that's a big jump to make.
He's basing that on the kitchen, though, of course. In this particular investment, I just don't see them necessarily. Again, anything can come in and pull this whole thing to the ground in terms of a competing brand or something like that. And again, I'm not knocking his location or anything like that. I think he's done marvelous. He is the absolute success story of what you can do. But I don't know.
Absolutely.
Building this into a $100 million business within the next 5 years. Or more.
Ariel, would it be right to say that your heart is in the wholesale business and not in the cart business?
No.
The numbers don't say it differently.
Sure, but I believe in the brand so much. I believe in Nuchas.
Okay, well, here's my offer. It's a little bit odd, but I think it's a good deal for you and it's a good deal for me.
There we go.
All right.
5% of Ariel's Empanadas.
And I'll give you $1 million loan against business.
Oh.
And I'll give you $1 million loan against your real estate on your wholesale business, but you keep 100% of the wholesale business. I have no interest in that. You're breaking even on the carts, whereas my Cousin's Maine Lobster on a cart are averaging a little bit more than $1 million a cart. There's got to be room in there for a profit. And I'll buy my product from your wholesale business, of course.
Barb, are you franchising too, like Lobster?
Of course I'll franchise it. That's how you make all your money.
All right, so there you go. So
there you go.
Let's see. So it's $1 million for 100% of the retail operations. 100% of the retail operations and $1 million loan with manufacturing property as collateral. Wow. That man, I don't think he's gonna go for that. I mean
I mean, but it's the deal to me that makes sense. It's the deal that makes sense to me. I mean, from an investor side, maybe not from his side, but
yeah. Well, yeah.
Thank you, Barbara. But we're going to be back making a lot of money on retail.
How many years will it take you to make net $1 million in cash off those trucks that you get to put in your pocket and just apply to your business.
Is it that you don't want to lose the trucks?
I believe what's going to happen.
Ariel, are you even considering my offer at all?
I'm looking for it.
No.
It's
No.
Well,
No, he's not.
no. And so Damon's gonna pull out, and all roads will lead back to Mr. Wonderful as always. But he's gonna want royalty deal. So that's why he's holding it back in his pocket, waiting. So he's potentially the last deal on the table.
Right. See, and that's the thing. I don't think that he's going to have what's necessary in terms of if he wants to counter, to get down to 15 million or something like that, maybe. But I don't know. I don't see it. Damon should be off the table.
The answer to 25, I cannot even. No, I could come up to 10.
You what? That's the room you have?
I have, but 25 it's not even. It's so far.
We definitely would not be good partners. So I'm going to take my deal back. I'm out.
Yeah. So my suggestion there would have been if 10 was your cap and you were trying to hold that in your pocket. I mean, with him coming in at 25, it definitely you held and kind of made him annoyed because you're like listening to another deal, and I don't blame Damon for wanting to back off. I mean, it's his money. It's $2 million. It ain't it ain't 200,000. It ain't 25,000. It's.
And for me, it's that combination of the valuation and the planned strategy for said funds.
Yeah.
Ouch. How much money do you have in the bank? I'm just trying to figure out.
Right now,
That's prime, sir.
That's it?
Wait, what do you say? $2,000?
$100,000.
That's it. Just trying to figure out.
Right now, $100,000.
Oh, $100,000. Wow.
Needs it.
Ooh. He really needs it.
Yeah.
I have $2 million already invested in my portfolio companies, okay? It's making me 14%. Now I take it and I give it to you.
Yeah.
I don't think I'm going to make 14% with you.
No, he's breaking even right now.
You don't have enough cash to do it. I'm out.
So I need an answer.
So the answer is I cannot do it.
I
would love to get you as a partner, but I'm not prepared to sell our retail
Counter back something.
Do something.
Like, work. If you want to work with somebody, Barbara's the one that you're going to want to work with there.
See, I see pride here. You know what I'm saying? In what he's done, and I get that, man. But franchising is the way to go with this kind of business.
I mean, it looks great. Like, it looks like he should be franchising it. It could be all over every major city and knock it out of the park, right? He knows that there's already going to be somebody that's going to capitalize on this opportunity because no one has yet. And he wants to be that guy. I don't think Barbara's deal is the deal, but I think that Barbara's the person that he needs to work with to get there.
which is really our marketing money.
You should take her deal, you know that?
He's not taking the deal. It's over. Let's move on.
Oh, man.
Damon, listen, we're building a brand. 25 is 12%.
I'm building a portfolio and I need the money back in 4 years. I'll be dead in 5.
12%.
So the sales that we have, they're going to generate enough things.
No, I understand. You know what? That's the best thing about building a brand and having it yourself. You can make those decisions, but when you have a partner, though, it's problematic. So I'm out again.
Ariel, I just want to give you one more chance to understand the mistake you're making. And I'm not that patient. These are simply front offices or windows where I sell your product for you. You don't have to do a thing.
When we want to go on franchise, will I be the one franchising?
You're never going to franchise. You don't have the time. It's a full-time business. You could increase your wholesale business. The easiest way is to open up trucks, but with your focus on your wholesale, you'll never get that done, nor the franchise done. I'm willing to do that work for you. Your business will explode because you have somebody watching the front side.
But the one thing you're missing is you make
I've
$1 million.
never worked this hard to spend $1 million in my life, ever.
What are you gonna do?
Let's do this. Let's do 2 million. We go 80-20. You take 80. I keep 20, and we're partners.
So you're saying it's $2 million for the truck piece?
It's 2 million.
Absolutely not.
And then,
You know, Ariel, I think the problem with this deal is you asked for too much money.
But I'm giving everything for $1 million.
No, you're only giving this little piece.
I mean, he's trying to hit a home run, right? And I feel like, he should, maybe if he did the $1 million for 80% of the retail, business.
You understand the value that Barbara brings to this. And again, I really see pride working here. He's just taking way too much stock into, who he is, what he's done. And I get it. You should be proud, brother, of getting to that level. But no.
Well, we're all lucky if we kept one lightning in a bottle idea, right? And if that lightning in a bottle idea isn't even an original idea, it's like, how many of these ideas am I going to find that a niche to carve into? But the fact of the matter is if you really put your mind to it as a business owner, as an entrepreneur, and like really just do that research of like digging in and finding like what's being underserved, how could I, reinvent it? How could I take a model from a different industry and kind of supplant it into that industry? There are opportunities out there. So this is great. More power to him. I think that he really needs to find a way to work with Barbara here and kind of get out of his own way a little bit.
It doesn't make any money.
It's not a little piece. To me, it's a dream.
Dream is in the way of your pocketbook.
Yep.
I love what you've done. I do not believe we're good dance partners. I'm out. Thank you for coming very much. Good luck.
Congratulations.
Oh, man.
Wow.
Just to chop my legs, right when I was starting to soar, they would have left us without the purpose. Nuchas is worth so much more.
$1 million in cash when he only has $100,000 in the bank could have been a godsend if his wholesale business is ready to grow.
Basically, he felt like you were turning him into purely a co-packer.
That's a lot of
Empanadas.
His ego was in the way.
No.
I think his heart.
passion,
I think
his
his
heart.
passion, his heart, what he built.
That's ego.
Yes.
Well, it's both, right? It's absolutely both. So let's take a look at their website here. It looks really good. They've done really. This episode was from season 10, so it was from a couple of years ago. Handful of years, a couple of years ago. But they're up to season 16, I think now.
So are those additional trucks there? Looks like he's
it looks like he's got mobile locations. Wall Street Cart, Georgia World, Congress World, Times Square. Okay. So these are still in New York.
So he grew by 3.
Atlanta.
But he grew by 3 because he had 3, so he's got 3 new spots.
Can we order online? Can I? Oh, I can
He
buy
said free
now.
shipping, yeah.
Oh, okay. Here you go. I could order 12 of them for $63
Woo!
with free shipping.
Well, yeah, right. Goodness.
Yeah. And then free shipping if you're in in this area.
I don't know if I'd be in that business though either. But I mean, having to ship to people, it's not fresh, that kind of stuff. I don't know.
Yeah, it definitely makes it tough. But hey, there's 5 stars here. Lots of 5-star reviews. Great job. What was his name? Ariel. Yeah. So congratulations on sticking to it and still making that dream work for you, man. Congratulations. Anyway, if you've congratulations to you. One day I'll get good at these things. Congratulations to you for sticking around to watch to the end. Please smash that like button for the YouTube algorithm so we can get this video into the hands of more super entrepreneurs like yourself. Get subscribed so you never miss another Biz Coach Reacts video. For Mikey, I'm Super Joe Pardo. Take care, and I'll see you in the next video.